All right, all right. We are here. We are here. It's good. Excuse me. It's good to see everyone that's here. Thankful and grateful for everybody who was watching this live, who was part of the live Zoom call, who was watching this live and part of this on Facebook, and who may be listening to this live on my internet radio station on the sevens with Pi Frisbee Metatron. I am truly thankful and grateful for each and every one of you that is here live and each and every one of you that is watching this on a replay on any one of those mediums and or my YouTube channel as well. So we're going to jump right into the lesson. Today, we are still covering the introduction into Master Self Numerology. Today, we deal with the number 5, corresponding letters E, N, and W. Just to build it up a little bit, the 1 is the number that comes and say, let's have a cookout. The number 2 goes and gathers all of the food and all of the stuff needed for the cookout. The number 3 sees all of this stuff gathered and says, hey, I can whip up a great meal. The number 4 comes along and says, hey, I have the house, I got the tables, the chairs, I got the silverware, I got everything we need to have a safe and stable and secure cookout. And the number 5 brings the liquor and the weed. What? The number 5 is the adventurer. The number 5 come to life to experience life. Yes, the 1 said, let's have a cookout. The 2 went and got all the stuff. The 3 started preparing everything. The 4 has the house and the table, and the 5 bought the party favors. Yes, the 5. The 5 is, the key word for the 5 is the adventurer. They are the kings and queens of change. If you got somebody, one of your relatives or somebody you know, and they're always changing their hair style or color, they always got some different wardrobe going on. They every 6 months to a year, they got a new or different color car, or they bounce from job to job to job to job. Yeah, that's the 5. The 5 is about progression, not regression. The 5 came to experience this place. I want each of us that are able, I want us to take the letters of the word life, L-I-F-E, and add those up. You're going to be surprised. Life, L-I-F-E, 3, 9, 6, 5. 23, 5. Life is a 5. The life on this planet is a 5. The way just the general nature of life is a 5. So we're going to get a real good understanding, not only into the number 5 today, but into life. I like how that works out. That's reminds me of any of y'all that watched the A-Team back in the 80s, and you know, they be horse shitting around for 45 minutes, and then in the last 5 minutes, Hannibal come up with some outrageous plan, and it comes together, and when they catch the bad guys, he stands up and says, I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, we're going to learn about the number 5, but we're going to also get some insight into life, and especially life on this rock. So anybody want to share anything about the 5 before I get into the keywords that govern the 5? I got some, I have 5 energy. My 5 energy, though, is my point of security. So I am secure in change. I am secure in action. I am secure in the things that I do. Yes, Victorious, please help me out.
So my first name adds up to a 5.
Absolutely.
So I was laughing about the part about I always got the weed and the drink.
They bring the weed and the drink, and they bring the weed and the drink and the appetite.
Yep. Back in the day, like, yeah, I always had my liquor with me. Like, I always brought the liquor to the party.
Absolutely. Yep. That's a hallmark of the 5. The 5 is going to make sure. The 5 will go to the repast. After we have a funeral, in the Black community, we had that funeral and then we have a repast. And it's the 5 that then already kicked it off before the funeral, and then they bring the bottle. Yeah. Yeah, the 5 is tipped in the church.
I see you over there, Sharon.
Yeah. The 5 is the one that's
I'm just like
Go ahead, Sharon. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just laughing.
Yeah, the 5 is the one that's come to your house that morning before y'all even get into the motorcade to go to the funeral. The 5 is already tipped. They done stopped at the liquor store on the way to the house. Absolutely. Because the 5 is not about Debbie Downer. The 5 is not about anything. You could tell, especially at a funeral, you could tell anybody with some strong 5 energy, because they won't wear black at all. They got red on and red shoes and red hat and yellow and all kind of shit. The 5 is not about no downers. They're not. They are. The 5 is the life of the party. They really, really, really are. They really, really are. Some of the keywords, and I don't list them positive or negative or good or bad. I list them all, and they are what they are. But the 5 is the adventurer and the wanderer, and the king of queens of change. They love, when you think of a 5, you think of progression. You think the 5 is always moving, and for those who are spiritually inclined and spiritually aligned, and you're a 5, your progression is always upward. 5, very rarely will a 5 take a backward step. Very rarely will they take a backward step. Before they will take a backward step, they'll stop. They'll just stop. They'll take a side lateral. They do not regret. They do not like regressing. They do not like going backwards. They don't give you in a relationship with a 5 and it busts up. That's it. So sorry. So sorry. So sorry. They're not going backwards. The 5 is about change and progression. They do not go backwards. If they can at all help it, they'll go sideways and they'll go around and sideways. As long as they're going forward and making progress, the 5, that's what the 5 is all about. 5 is very, very, very resourceful. I haven't done these numbers, but remember that show in the 80s again, MacGyver, how he can make a bomb out of a piece of gum and the foil off of it and a white clothes hanger. Yeah, that's some 5 shit right there. That is 3 shit, but that's 5 because of the resourcefulness. The 5 can take a bunch of things that somebody would say is a bunch of trash, and they can make something out of it. They are resourceful. They know how to get everything out of everything. They know how to get the fullness out of everything. The 5 is the one in life that when they are on their deathbed and you ask the 5 that got into regrets, the 5 will be, I'm regretting that I can't live a little longer. That's the only regret, because the 5 don't leave shit on the table. The 5 don't leave nothing for chance. There's no regrets. Ain't no bucket list for the 5. The 5's entire life is a bucket list. Entire life is a bucket list. They're very resourceful. Johnny or Joni on the spot. Always always seems to have just what you need. If you go to a five's house, they cabinets is packed with shit, packed, because they, first of all, they're not going to run out of shit. And if you come and ask for it, they might have the exact brand that you want. That's just how resourceful a five is. Fives are very versatile. Fives are about action. They're not about sitting down. They're not about putting brakes on. They're not about, wait, let's review. Hell no. Five is like, let's move. If the five ain't moving, they get physically sick. If you put a five in a restrictive or a environment where strict, staunch conformity is the norm of the day, it'll literally make a five person or five personality sick physically, physiologically. It will make them sick. Five got to be moving. Five got to have free flowing clothes on. A five won't be wearing no tight ass jeans or tight skirt or some 20-inch heels where you gotta be wobbling. No, the five is gonna have something on where if they got to make a quick move, they can make a quick move, but their clothes normally flow and they're not restrictive. Anything restrictive, a five is gonna kick it out. It's gonna bust it out. Fives are a ball of energy. And again, it's not good energy, it's not bad energy, it just is. The key for the five is learning how to channel their abundance of energy in the most productive and effective and least detrimental way. The five is for the most part not afraid to attempt anything. I guarantee you it was a five that coined that phrase, I'll try anything once. Guarantee it was five, because the five just has that energy. Five has that natural curiosity. The five is an investigator. Fives, look for shit. Fives got to know what the fuck is going on. That's just the bottom line. If you got five energy, your ass is all up in the middle of whatever is going on, be it in your passion project, be it in whatever entertainment you like, whatever it is that you like, the five is up to date because they know and they have to know. Keeping information, keeping knowledge, keeping something of vital importance away from a five, that is almost like telling them you want to fight. Yeah, play with a five. Tell a five, hey, I want to tell you something. And then start saying something and then like, no, I'm not going to tell you. Yeah, you getting ready to get cut.
I feel like it is my God-given right to know everything.
Every damn thing. Everything. I'm serious. Five. Now, with all of this energy and with all the action, versatility, and resourcefulness, the five is really about administration. They're really, and they're sticklers for the law. They really are sticklers for the law, but they are about, the proper administration, even though sometimes they'll bust out of the box, but they are aware of limitations. They are aware of proper etiquette and all of those things. That five though will come busting in like a fury. When somebody got five energy and they enter the room, you can feel it before the door even opens up. Hey, Jolene, good to have you. Fives are about promotion. Yes, Jolene.
Hi, I was trying to press on my mute, but hi, how are you?
I'm very well, very well. Good to see you. Good to have you here.
Oh, thank you.
Fives are the best promoters on the planet. And a five can't be stagnant in anything. You're in vocation, five got to see a plan of upward mobility or I'm bouncing. In the relationship, the five is the one that come to you every 6 months. Hey, what's going on? Where's this going? What are we doing? Yeah, what are we going to do? Are we going to re-examine this? The five would be the one at the job that go in and tell the boss, you need to transfer me up into your position because I can do it. That's the five. Five is all about new ideas and new concepts and new innovations. The five loves freedom. You wanna really stir up a hornet's nest? Attempt to restrict the five's freedom or encroach upon their freedom. And yeah, you got a whole hornet's nest chasing after you with that one. Fives are very quick thinkers, have very agile and dexterous minds. Fives are full of curiosity. They are curious about everything under the sun. The five has either done researched it, thought about it, participated in it, or is thinking about participating in it. There's nothing on this planet that the five haven't done or is not getting ready to do. That's just the life of the five. There is an inner restlessness in the five, and it can manifest in a few ways. Most of it manifests in they can't really sit still for too long. They have to be up doing something. Even during the pandemic, the five was still the busy bee of the house. I mean, just up and cleaning and up and doing it, moving furniture and oh, let me look at this and looking in the junk drawer and cleaning it out and then rearranging shit and taking all the silver, all the plates out of the cabinet and wiping the cabinet down and putting them back in and then coming back tomorrow and say, you know, I want these plates on the lower level, not the top, and doing it all. Yeah, the five was busy during the lockdown. The lockdown don't matter to the five. The five still got a bunch of shit to do right where they are. There can be a you know, in the low levels, nervousness and discontentment, especially if the five reserves themselves to the fact that they're not going to progress or they're going to have their restriction limited. They get very discontented, and then it causes a nervous reaction in them. The five really got to have free flow movement. Got to have. Five don't even like being locked up in their own house. In the dead of winter, the five got a window open. For real, with the heat blasted, but got a window open because they got to know that everything ain't just closed up. They're not gonna go for that being closed up.
Can I share something with you?
Please do.
I have to be the craziest person on the planet because I literally will have the air conditioning running, but I have to have my windows open or cracked.
Absolutely. You can't get boxed in. You can't feel boxed in at all. Now with the first step five, oh no, no boxing you in. Fives, this is a double-edged sword. Fives are great critics and receive a multitude of criticism. And the reason why they are great critics is because of their life experience and because of their can-do attitude and because of their right to action and because, you know, that they have done a lot of shit. The criticism that comes to them normally comes from people, folks, and numbers who are much more rigid in their ideals and much more conservative in their actions. But it comes from the folks who really want to do and live like the five live, but they can't bring themselves to do that. Again, not a good thing or a bad thing. The five goes through mood swings, tremendous mood swings, some of them. Most of them, they're subtle mood swings, but a five can go the gamut of emotions, just like a Scorpio, from all the way nuts to all the way calm and just back and forth in between. Am I right or wrong, Victorious?
You know what? I had that day the other day, and I really didn't know where that extreme moodiness came from, and it just hit me like out of nowhere, and it took over me for the whole day.
Yes.
Yes. Mean to anybody. I just was like, you know, I'm gonna stay out of everybody else's way. Absolutely. We're gonna get to that
sudden and unexpected mood swing later on in this lesson. But yeah, the five will go through a sudden an unexpected mood swing, like for real, dog. Like you was just smiling and now you growling. Like really? Yeah, they'll do that. The five is not the one that you want to cuss you out, because you will get cussed out for real. The 5 and the 7, you don't want either one of them cussing you out, but you really don't want the 5 to cuss you out, because the 5 truly will clap your cheeks backwards. For real, for real, for real. They don't play that. And once they get like that, you might as well just back up and let them run on. And then normally with the 5, because of the ability to swing the mood, they'll come back around to you in like 15, 20 minutes or something. And they don't mean no harm. They just want you to get away. Yeah, just go on. Just get away. They can suffer from a temper/frustration. There's more frustration. It's not so much a temper as it is, they get frustrated, especially if things start moving slow or slowing down, or if you're just doing some dumbass shit. If that is the worst thing you could do around a 5, is you just doing some dumbass shit. Yeah, that 5 will be like frustrated with your ass and will tell you about it with that sharp speech. The 5 is a rolling stone. Don't no moss gather on the 5. The 5 is pew, 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 pew. And that's not to say that the 5 don't settle down and establish roots. They do. Inwardly, they always on the move. They always got something going on. They just, and they are freedom conscious. So yeah, they don't let you, the 5 is very hard to get chakra attachments into them, because yeah, they be moving, man. The 5 is always on the go. When they have to slow down and look at some of the things in their lives, those are the times that they go through their period of dissatisfaction, because a lot of 5s have had hundreds of great opportunities and they just experience it and pew, keep going. And deep inside of them, they literally yearn for the stability and security of the 4 and the stick-to-itiveness of the 6, because they sit right in between those two numbers. Inwardly, they really yearn for that. And that's when they start going over their life and the things that they have done or the things that they haven't done, they can tip into a momentary dissatisfaction, but it only lasts for a minute, because the 5 can change their mood and change their attitude and change their environment with a blink of an eye or a snap of their fingers. Some 5s can have too many irons in the fire, or like we say, where I come from, doing too much. Yeah, 5s is the ones that you be looking at and they be like, he or she just doing way too much. 5s can be impatient and hasty, and they can be impulsive in the fact where they will leave something without giving it their full-on effort. They'll just bounce, especially if they see something that they think, feel, or know is better. Yeah, they'll bounce. They be like, deuces, I'm out. So anybody got anything they would like to add or say about the keywords? If not, we're going to run on. Colors. With all of this energy and all of the resourcefulness and all of the progress and all of the promotion and freedom loving, it's not shocking to me that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 5's power colors are some version of red. I'm talking cherry, pink, cerise, raspberry, and claret. Also, wisteria, plum, wine, violet, and lavender are very, very, very great colors for the 5. You making a presentation, you selling something, you in a job interview, you on a radio interview or a TV interview, or you out in public being a presenter, cherry, red cerise, red claret, candy apple red, any red will do you. You're in a more soft and sensual setting, the pinks and the wisterias. And if you are in award shows or things of that nature, the violet and the lavender and the plum. Those are your power colors for the number 5. Number 5, Victoria, give me some of the colors in your wardrobe.
I have black, plum, rose, light blues, love blues.
Mm-hmm. That's the 4 in you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But you have these reds. You have some cherry. You got some pink?
I do have some pink, and I actually feel really good in pink.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Pink is y'all color, man. Pink and cherry red. Ooh, wee.
I think I told you I started wearing those colors together, and I just feel really good in those colors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. They are powerful. Hey, Jolene, you got something you want to add?
No.
Okay. Okay. I see you up there thinking. It looked like you up there thinking. So
I'm always thinking.
Good. That's the life of a 7. That's the life of a 7. All right, we're gonna run on to the spiritual code of the number 5. And again, remember, I just described the 5 is action and always moving and always in motion. They are an introvert number. The 5 is an introvert number. In all of its action, the 5 really seeks to find its tribe and then sit his ass down in the midst of their tribe. That's what the 5 is always. The 5 is always looking, where do I fit? Where do I fit? Where's my people? Where's my people? That's why the 5 is always going and experiencing stuff. They really are looking for a bunch of other 5s. That's what they're looking for. Somebody that can understand the need to always be on the go, but to be close. You know, it's the 5 is a contradiction. I love being out, but I really don't want to be around a bunch of people, but I need to be out and experiencing with it. And if they see a bunch of people somewhere, they're going to stop and go over there. They're going to stop. If the 5 sees the crowd, they're going to stop and go see what, hey, and they're going to walk in there talking about what's going on. Right all up in the middle. That's what the 5 does. Their spiritual code is the right of action. Any strong 5 personality, they believe it is their right to change. It is their right to live free. It is their right to do and go and come as they please.
I like that.
That is the spiritual, that's the spiritual code of the 5. The 5 has the development of resources. The 5 can develop resources like no other. Yes, Sharon.
Are these the revolutionaries?
The 5s are the 5s are the ones that kick the gate in. Yes. Yep. Yes, they are. Yeah. The 5 is also the spiritual code of the 5 is the wonder of being alive. No other number cherishes life and being alive more than the number 5. No other number appreciates life just for the living, not for any particular experience that they ever been through or done. They love those experiences. They appreciate life just for living. And lastly, the spiritual code for the 5 is the stimulation of choice. The 5 is all about choices. My choice. It was my choice. It's my choice. I could choose what I want.
Can I say something?
Absolutely.
My whole life is based on like how I set my life up. I always give myself an opportunity to change my mind.
Absolutely.
I always be like, you know what, I may be feeling like this, and I'm like gun ho, this is gonna happen like that, and then I wake up tomorrow feeling completely different, and I will go completely in the opposite direction.
Whoop, there it
And
is.
won't feel nothing about it.
Won't
And
feel
it's sad
nothing.
too. I don't have a whole lot of friends for that reason, because people have expectations and they always want you to do the group thing, and I can't do the group thing. So for me, it is so much easier to just roll by myself, and then I don't have people disappointed.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah.
I love that part. Can I be, because I think I'm already a 5 just because of that.
You got some 5 action in your chart.
That could be that 7 too, because I'm a 7 too, my birth number. So that could be that 7 in me too. But yeah.
And the 5 and the 7 are very similar in a lot of ways, especially in the spiritual code. 5 and the 7 are really, really similar. Very, very similar. Boiled down to just a pot liquor, the 5 spiritual code is life's field of action. Now we're going to run on to the expansion, things that expand and awaken and ascend the number 5. Whenever they are operating in an unlimited field of opportunity, if there is something that there is no limit, or the sky, like they say, is the limit, then that is expansive for the 5. If they're in a free flowing and a free atmosphere and environment, free work environment, that really, really expands the 5. When the 5 is able to use its quick mind and excellent powers of observation, that expands and awakens and ascends the 5. When they are in the public eye or promoting public interests, because they are life itself, life personified. The 5 is life personified. When they are in the public eye or promoting public interest, is very, very, very expansive for the 5. This one is going to hit home really, really well. The 5 is expanding and ascending and awakening whenever they are governing, controlling, or managing anything. When they got the control of it, they expand. When the 5 sits down long enough to govern, to control, to manage, they just expand and awaken and ascend like no other number. They get the cosmic energy to be able to still hold on to that 5 freedom, yet settle in with some 4 stability and get some stick-to-itiveness of the 6. The 5 is really in the perfect position as far as the numbers are concerned. Perfect position.
I think if I can say something, I'm sorry.
Yes, go ahead.
So now I'm a manager, right? One of the managers at my job. And,
Absolutely.
I'm past the phase of being intimidated by labels. So I have this 32-year-old executive director, right?
Mm-hmm.
and I'm in my 50s, right? And so everyone was trying to get her to do something, and they were scared to really say something. And me, if I feel that there was a need, and there is a need to say something, and there was a need. I mean, there's a need. And so I think they're feeling comfortable with me and confident, because I did step and asked her. So, I mean, she's my daughter's age. I mean, come on, right? So,
right.
I mean, I think I'll take that, because I feel comfortable with that one. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Like
absolutely. Also expanding for the 5 is when they're allowed to freely roam, when they're allowed to come and go. 5 loves it if like salesmen at the production company I used to work for, there was like 4 or 5 of them that had strong 5 energy, where they come into the office early in the morning and they pick up the orders and all that. Then they go out into the field and they can move free. They could do what they want. They had the best sales quotas, and they always made their quotas, because that 5 is a natural at that. The 5 also expands when they wholeheartedly embrace change. Even though they are the kings and queens of change, they sometimes don't embrace it. When they embrace change fully, it accelerates their expansion. It accelerates their ascension and accelerates their awakenings. And lastly, for the expansion of the 5, when they are promoting growth, stability, dependability, and anything that is permanent and or lasting. All right, we're gonna run to the life's work and the purpose, or life's work or purpose of the 5. Anybody, any 5 on here? You got something you want to add before I get into this? I know I just cut through all of that one really quick. On the expansion part there, Victorious, you want to speak to any of that?
Not so much as the expansion part. There was something that you said back earlier in the conversation about the 5s being like kind of isolated or alone, like loners in a sense.
Yeah.
And so again, it was something you said in reference to the 3, and I find that to be amazing because the 3 and the 5 are very social numbers.
Yes, they are.
And, can actually thrive in any group setting. But the interesting thing with me having both of those numbers significant, I do not go out of my way to be in group settings.
Absolutely.
But when I find myself in one, like, yeah, it's like it's a natural, but I do not go out of my way looking for those situations.
Yeah, I have 3s and 7s, and I have the same thing. I'm the reluctant spokesperson, the reluctant leader. I would rather be way in the back. Y'all can be up front doing all the plans. When y'all get all this shit together, come back here and let me know. Yeah, just come back here and let me know. I want to be in the back. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So let's get into the life's work or purpose of the 5, some purpose work for the 5. Again, I already talked about this: public service and public interest service, not necessarily politics, being the politician, although there are a lot of 5s that are politicians, but working in the political office, working as part of the political machine, working in the county buildings, working in the health departments, things of those nature, any type of public service and public interest service that's going to put you in contact with a multitude of people, multitude of experiences, and allow you to use your incredible resourcefulness is something that is very, very good and life's work for the 5. Any and all lines of transportation, railroads, planes, trains, cars, any public transportation, and any type of transportation dealing with the public, be it buses, limos, things of that nature, from the mechanic, the driver, washing them, all the way up to owning the company. That is something that is really, really a great life's work and a purpose work for the 5. Promoting, event promotion, product promotion, advertising, marketing, social media marketing, influencers. I guarantee you, if I can get the real names and birth dates of some of these YouTube and Instagram influencers, I guarantee you they got some strong 5 in their chart, strong 3 and strong 5s. Athletics and the performing arts. And when I mean athletics, I mean playing the sport and promoting the sport and working in the sport and the performing arts, tap dance, ballet, any of those strenuous performing arts, any of those performing arts that takes flexibility and dexterity and resourcefulness. Yeah, that's right up the 5's alley. Anything dealing with the law, lawyers, attorneys, legal, paralegals, anything dealing with civics, city government, county government, state government, national government, any of those areas is something that the 5 not only is attracted to, but excels in it very, 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 very well. I am a great salesman for anything that I believe in. The 5 can sell anything, whether they believe in it or not. The 5 is a natural salesperson. The 5 can sell you, me, anything. The 5 will sell themselves some shit they don't even want. That's how good of a salesperson the 5 is. And again, it puts them in contact with a multitude of people, multitude of experiences, and they got to be resourceful and they got to use their quick mind. The 5 got to answer for whatever. They ask you a question and you can have 7 different answers and they got 8 different responses already ready. 5 is just quick like that. Newspapers in the actual publishing, on the publishing side, the editing side, the advertising side, the marketing side, and as reporters, columnists, correspondents, overseas correspondents, anything dealing with the reporting of the news, reporting, advertising, selling, anything of those natures. That 5 is a natural for it, and is really, really, really some fulfilling work for the 5. CEOs, CFOs, heads of industry, heads of corporations, heads of big business, with or without the proper degrees or credentials, because 5 brings a wealth of experience with them, life experience that overrides degrees and all of this and all of that. They are really, really, really adept at being CEOs and decision makers because of that quick and versatile and flexible and resourceful mind and mindset that they all walk around with all day long. I did mention criticisms and that as a paid critic, art critic, theater critic, movie critic, food critic, you doing reviews on cars, or you doing product reviews, or any of those things, the 5 is a natural at it and be very, very good. And you actually take pride in not necessarily shooting things down, but giving a thorough evaluation of something that therefore might help someone not injure themselves or not get hurt or not get sick or anything of that nature. The 5, any type of occult work, work as a psychologist, a psychotherapist, a psychoanalyst, that's dealing with the dark passages of the mind, or the multiple personalities, or any of those things. Yeah, that 5 is right in line for that. And or anything that's dealing with health, diet, or emotional disturbing issues. The 5 is a natural. 5 can, if you got a health issue, 5 can find it and hook you up. If you need a great dietitian, get you a dietitian that got 5 energy. They're gonna be thorough for you. They're gonna find the exact shit that you need. And if you got anybody dealing with emotional issues or emotional disturbances, send the 5 in. The 5 can calm that shit down and get to the root cause of it. The 5 definitely anything of the occult sciences. And lastly, anything dealing with speculative money endeavors, stock market, currency exchange, horse races, odds on winning the football game, odds on winning the Super Bowl, odds on winning, I live in a city that is the gambling capital of the world. And a lot of the odds makers are 7s or 5s. Anything that's dealing with speculative money endeavors, Wall Street, a bunch of 5s on Wall Street, a bunch of 5s at the commodity exchange, a bunch of 5s at the auction. Anything where speculative money, venture capital is being handled, 5 is right up in there with that. Anybody got?
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Joe.
Hanging out in Wall Street, downtown, to those, white men always was clean, like robots to me.
Absolutely.
It seemed like they were like robots, not laughing, not chilling, just like robots. And that scared me.
And if you ever seen the Florida Stock Exchange, it's constant movement. I mean, ain't nobody just sitting down. It's constantly going here and there and here and there and here and there. And when it's constantly moving like that, the 5 can be in the crowd because you're still by yourself, but it's moving so fast that you don't feel like you're being isolated. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to finish up with interpersonal. We're going to run on and finish this. And interpersonally, especially in intimate relationships, the 5 will experience mood swings, not so much daily, but weekly. There'll be a mood swing with a 5, not good, not bad. It just is. I tell anybody that's getting in a intimate relationship with the 5 that is part of the beauty of the 5, that they will have mood swings. Sometimes they'll be extreme, but normally in an intimate, equal exchange, intimate relationship, the 5, if they are affected, if they are touched and kissed and coddled and affected properly, then it balances out all those mood swings. Yes, Victorious. Okay. They have a restless inner nature and they're naturally curious. However, that inner restlessness doesn't always manifest in outward where they can't sit down. The inner restlessness, and a lot of the 5s, especially those on their spiritual tip, they internalize a lot of things and they keep a lot of things on the inside. And they are very, very susceptible to nervous conditions, anxiety attacks, and or upset stomachs because they do internalize their restlessness because they've been told since they've been little kids, why don't you sit your ass down? You just getting into everything. You just can't stop touching that. So they have a complex about it. So on the inside, they push it down and they force themselves to sit down. They force themselves to do it out of complying. That leads to their anxiety and that leads to their stomach issues. So I encourage every 5, don't push the restlessness down. If you got to get up and go outside on your balcony 100 times in a day, just so you don't feel like you're being isolated, do that rather than push it down and cause more harm to your inner self than is really necessary. The 5 is an interesting and entertaining companion. It is never dull around the 5. It's never a dull moment around the 5. And if there is too long of a pregnant pause, that 5 is going to do something to break that ice. So 5 is the icebreaker. 5 is the icebreaker. Very interesting, very entertaining, very classy, and very, for the men 5s are classy. The women 5s are sensual. They just got class all over them. Very interesting, very entertaining as companions. The 5 learns through life experience, mostly the hard way. Let me repeat that again. The 5 learns everything in their life through life experience. Yeah, they can sit with books and all of that, but yeah, they want to feel it, see it, touch it, smoke it, eat it, fuck it, whatever it is. That's how they learn. That's how the 5 learn. And they learn most of their lessons the hard way. They do. They do. Not good, not bad. It's just the nature of the 5 because the 5 is unafraid of anything. 5 will go anywhere. They don't have a problem. They do not have a problem. They don't look at themselves and see timidity or lack or anything. They could be the smallest thing and they'll walk straight through South Central LA. They won't even care. They won't even care. They just go right through the heart of gangland and just be like, la da da, da da, and they be watching too. They real observant. Interpersonally, The 5 can unexpectedly and suddenly change on you. What? And it is what it is. Now, their sudden and unexpected change doesn't necessarily mean it's over. However, it does mean it's over how it was and how it used to be.
Exactly.
How it used to
Exactly.
be. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. Can I
Yeah.
share something?
Absolutely.
When in my 20s, I was seeing my son's father, and I said, we've been going together for a while, and we love each other. My daughter loves you. We all good. And he says, without hesitation, without doubt, he says, "No, you're too much of a tomboy." Okay, so in my brain, I made him to be the babysitter so I could finish school. So
Absolutely.
but I made him do something.
Unexpected, sudden change ability. That's right.
That's right.
In interpersonal relationships, co-worker relationships, and especially in intimate relationships, the 5 is extremely resourceful. Extremely resourceful. The 5 can make $1 out of a dime and a nickel. Yes, they can. They can really, they are really resourceful. And when they're in a intimate or work relationship, they become even much more resourceful. They don't always get the credit for their resourcefulness, but they are extremely resourceful. The 5 has a very complex personality, and you have to be prepared for their complexities. If you are not prepared for their complexities, you will make a wrong judgment about them and walk away from one of the best friends you could ever have. 5s are the best friends you could have. Best friends, because they ain't judging you for shit. They ain't got time to judge you because they off doing their thing. 5s are the best friends you could have. You call a 5, and if you could catch them and they close to you, you tell them that you need them, they right there. They got shit in their car or their house that you need that you don't know you need. They got it. The 5 got it. Yeah. If you got a friend, once you get into this and then you start doing your friends and your associates, you got a friend that's a 5 and you need an obscure can of tomato paste and don't want to go to the store, call your friend up. That's the 5. Guarantee you they got it for you. Guarantee. Yes, Victorious.
Yeah, you hit that right on the nose. Somehow, some way, what'd you call him, MacGyver?
MacGyver. God damn it, MacGyver. Yes.
Yeah, I always manage to have be like, I can't believe you had a
Yes.
bobby pin. Like,
yes. Yeah, y'all be having whatever somebody needs, y'all get it. Y'all have it, and you have it just when they call. They be calling and they be all exasperated, and they say, "Girl, I just need a can of tomatillo chili." You be like, "I got one right here." In fact, I got 2 of them. Come and get it. That's the 5. That's the 5. Anything else, Victorious? I'm sorry. Was you getting ready to say something?
No, I'm just enjoying this.
Okay. Now hear me when I say this. The 5 doesn't necessarily like the crowd, but they love being one of the crowd. Yes, they do. They love being able to say, where they was on September 11th, 2001. They don't have to necessarily be in it, but they love being one of the crowd. They like being around historical events. They like being around stuff. They like being one of the crowd when there's something important going on. Yes, they do. They are very, did I say very, very? Let me start over. They are very fond of the opposite sex. Fives are lovers, baby. And
Say that again.
They are very fond of the opposite sex. Very fond.
Oh yeah.
Very fond of the opposite sex. The 5, if you're in a relationship with a 5, they're gonna keep you on your toes, man. They gonna, yeah. You ain't turning into no moss or getting no rust on your ass. If you're in a relationship with a 5, yeah, they keep you on your toes. They keep you thinking. You always be looking for what's the next thing with the 5. Yeah, they keep you on your toes. And then lastly, we're gonna hit this one last. The 5 will break up, divorce, leave you when things get dull, stale, stagnant, or abusively restricted. Gone. No discussion. Your ass will come home from work and the 5 will be gone. They'll just be gone.
Yep.
So
out the door.
go ahead, Victorious.
No, I said out the door.
Out the door.
And I ain't
real.
coming back.
For real. Oh, and the 5 don't do the do-over. Ain't
They
no
don't look
redo.
back.
Ain't no remixes. No, the 5 is the original artist, and you don't get part 2. No.
That's it.
That's it.
Going back to that story earlier, when I moved to San Diego and he found out I was doing so well, he all of a sudden wanted to buy a diamond ring and ready to marry. I said, "You too late. Bye."
Absolutely. Yeah, the 5 don't play. The 5 does not play at all. So that's all I have today.
That was a lot.
5. Any comments? Any questions? Anything from anyone?
Yeah, I just wanted to apologize how I be coming in during the week. I'm still on my weekly, I'm still at work and leaving, and it takes me a while to go from work to home, and I don't want to stay longer. So I do pop in. I just want to apologize for doing that and not spending time to saying hi, how y'all doing. But during the week, it's like impossible, and I'm hoping I can hear your explanation of 7 because that's going to be next Thursday.
Yes.
And thank God, I think I'll be working from home next week. So I really want to hear who I am.
Absolutely.
In your eyes.
and that is received. However, there are no apologies necessary, Jolene. And anytime that you log into the call is right on time. It's not late. Okay.
All right, cool.
All right. Yes, Victorious.
I actually just want to say to Jolene, every time you come on the call, you make me smile. So like your presence is always welcome.
Me too.
Yeah, every time you come on, I just have the biggest smile. And I just wanted to tell you that. I've never told you that before. So please do not apologize.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No apology necessary for that. I know you working, you chime on in when you log in, when you can log in, and I already know when you come into the house, you want to say hello. So yeah, just keep being Jolene. You just
Absolutely.
keep being Jolene, and I wouldn't have it any other way.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Any
you.
other way.
That made my day. Thank you so much.
Now you make my day every time you come in. I'm like looking for you.
Anybody else? Hi,
Thank you.
Deborah. I see you just getting in. We are wrapping it up.
I know. I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
I'll get you the next
No
time.
apologies.
I was just out.
No apologies. Catch me on Tuesday or go to my YouTube page and you can see the whole episode.
Okay, wonderful.
All right.
Is your YouTube page on the email?
I will email it to you in about 20 minutes.
Okay, good. I tried to make an appointment with you and something happened.
I wanted to, I'm glad you were on the call because I wanted to tell you personally that when you made that appointment, I ended up being sick the next week and I couldn't get to it. And I was going to talk to you about it the other day, but we got so far into the lesson where I couldn't. Yeah. I will respond to it and we can reschedule that appointment.
Sounds good. Okay,
All
thank
right.
you.
Absolutely. Anybody else? No? All right. Well, I'm grateful and thankful for everyone that's been here. This has been On the Sevens with Pythias B. Metatron, where we talked about the number 5. We come here to awaken, ascend, and expand. We also deal with the 88 steps into your mastered self. And if you keep coming back while you're on your soul's journey, somewhere along the way, your mastered self awaits you. I love each and every one of you. I'm grateful for each and every one of you. Goodbye for now.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.